Today, we are presenting an extraordinary and inspiring multimedia movie designed for all ages and those who have never considered the possibility of being able to see and learn about humanity's creators. The creators we will be introducing you to today are the top tier benevolent ones that oversee and protect planet Earth and humans so that we are all able to continue our evolutionary path and soul growth on Earth. This indeed has been a collaborative production with two other multi-talented colleagues who happily stepped on board and generously, and I mean generously, offered their free time. Without their cooperation and expertise, none of this would be possible. So I would like to introduce my two returning guests, Ileana the Star Traveler, an Akashic Records psychic, accurate historian, and amazing artistic renderer, as well as Jason Cooper, art director and movie narrator extraordinaire. Jason also has done two previous movies to introduce one of humanity's creator protector species that are close to my heart, the Irma felines. So make sure and watch those, available on his channel listed below. So welcome back, Ileana and Jason. I'm so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me as well.
You're welcome. So we felt this introduction is worth the time to share the collaborative, magical process of how this movie came together and even co-created itself, taking on a life of its own. Hopefully, this will inspire you towards what is possible when Earth human creators and off-world higher dimensional creators cooperate together with pure motives to provide a sacred gift for humanity. And I will say to you that this whole experience of multi-dimensional collaboration has been so far the thing that I am the most proud of in this life. It says a lot. So let's first define a few terms that will be used in this movie that we want you all to understand. I am told the majority of humans on Earth have moved upward from third dimension existence on Earth to 3.5 and are working towards ascending and evolving higher. And the planet herself has ascended from fourth density to 4.5 density and continuing upward. So Jason, please briefly describe for our audience, if you would, what the terms third dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, eighth dimension, 11th or 12th dimension represent in the context of frequencies that the various creators we are presenting in this movie reside on.
Sure. So the third dimension or third density, it has been for the last however many thousands of years here on Earth, been the kind of like the default. And it's a vibrational frequency that a certain type of consciousness can exist in and operate in. And as you move up through the frequencies or the densities or the dimensions, consciousness, the consciousness that exists there, is able to process more and more information and understand things to a deeper level. And as you move higher and higher, things become a little bit less and less physical, more and more metaphysical. And so, yeah, a lot of the higher dimensional, higher level entities and beings that exist that kind of work with us, work outside of our framework that we're familiar with, but they can get their hands in here and kind of help us and do what they need to do.
That's a great description. And I was surprised to know not only does higher frequencies and densities and dimensions trump lower ones, but they actually, if they want, can know everything we're doing all the time.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing about it is every dimension has all the other dimensions that exist in it. It just depends on where you're vibrating and what you're able to tune into. So they all exist together at the same time. It's just where are you at?
Oh, that's a great thought. Thank you. Ileana, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, sure. So we as living beings, we can project our mind into from third dimension to 3.5 to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. It's like it's just activating the psychic ability to tune in as a signal and a frequency to another dimensional frequency and density to see what's going on there. Time does not almost exist in other dimensions. Time is an earth concept. How much time do we have to do this or that to complete this project? In the other dimensions, it's like the quality is the frequency of what you're doing. It's not based on time or deadlines. It's based on projecting a good vibration, a good frequency of completing something to its finite possibility of working with something. So humans can psychically connect to higher dimensional beings in different densities and frequencies, like the blue azurites, the green chauksuri, who are also avians, the Irma felines, who are part of our connection in this beautiful project, and the Patal, who are 12th dimensional beings. They're the creators who helped out with a lot of stuff on Earth and creation on Earth and evolution of many beings. And the newly beautifully reformed Dakan reptilians who have been healed and who have been working with us to help to talk about what's happened in the reptilian species and the differences and what's involved, and having human consciousness interact with all of these beautiful beings. You can go up levels in dimension, density, and frequency to their level, and they can come to our level of 3.5D and interact with us physically, telepathically, and consciously. So they're beautiful creator contributors working with humans.
So, Jason, you can help us out with this. Many people are not familiar what the word ascension means. So can you briefly describe what ascension means and its importance and relevancy for humanity now?
Sure. So ascension, if you take the word, it has ascend in it. So basically, it's the idea of ascending your vibrational frequency up the ladder, up the chain. And it's not something that has to happen like overnight or in an instant. It's something that you're always kind of going like this with your vibration, and as you ascend, you do that a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. Eventually you find yourself in a new reality. And so to me, that's what ascension is, and it's individual for everybody. Everybody's going to ascend at their own level, at their own pace. The planet is ascending, and we are part of the electromagnetic vibrational state of the planet. So as the planet ascends, it helps us ascend, and we're moving into those higher levels of vibration, those higher densities and frequencies where the beings that we're talking about exist.
Wonderful. Thank you for that clarity. Ileana, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, so ascension can be a very personal experience for people on their ascension journey. Like Jason said, you can be ascending on different levels of your experience. It doesn't have to happen all at once. It's a life journey process throughout your lifetime, whichever planet, 3D, 3.5, 3D world you're living on, or higher densities of planets. Ascension can look a little bit different on every planet depending on the energy frequency. And some beings are transitioning from physical bodies to multidimensional light bodies in their ascension process. So they can take their soul energy and travel in a light body, semi-corporeal, travel the universe, explore different planets. You don't have to have a spaceship, a physical spaceship, to go and travel the universe or universes. You can do it with your soul frequency and your light body. And then you come back into your 3.5 human body and integrate in harmony and frequency and remember everything that you did in that process. So ascension is evolving into higher forms of experience as souls and physical bodies and something in between that as well. So it's a multi-level process of creation, exploration, soul human body duality, and comprehension of what you experience on those multiple levels of existence, and bring back with you in full living memory of your experiences.
Wow, that's so wonderful. It's very inspiring. Thank you. Humans long ago were first created as higher dimensional creators themselves, but most of us have forgotten that while living on the lower third dimension of Earth life. So Jason, can you describe what we mean in the movie by the term creators and how that's different than source creator of the universe?
So source creator of the universe is everything. It's everything all together all at once, and it's all time, all space, all non-physical. And from that point of view, source can't create really because it is already everything. So source has to step down its consciousness to create separation within itself to where can be creator beings that it has created that can now start to create and step down. So as you go down each dimensional level, let's say sources is 13th dimension or density, and you step down to the 12th density, that where you have the patal, there's more of them. There's a number of them, and then they can step down into other creator beings, and we're all creator beings. Even in the third dimension, we create. So there's no such thing as a being that's not a creator being. We all create. It's just from what level are we creating?
Oh, that's very clear. Thank you so much. Ileana, do you have anything to add to that?
Like Jason said, source creator has created everything in creation that has been created. So source creator also has other creator beings helping source creator to create new life forms, new planets, new universes, new existences. Can even say parallel lifetimes is part of source creator, because source creator can see everything that we are, who we are. Source creator experiences us like we experience source creator on multiple levels of realities. So I would say it's a multi-level energetic process, and source creator is everywhere, in everything, in all of us, in animals, in plant life, in planetary energies. Source creator knows all the souls that it's ever created and who we are as incoming souls who incarnate on Earth and other planets. So source creator is all knowing, and we are, as living beings and creators, all knowing when we open to the cellular memory of understanding who we are as creator beings in the greater galactic universe community of where we came from and what our galactic heritage is. Not just being born on Earth, but galactically everywhere in the universes. We can consciously know where we come from galactically.
That's so fun. And related to that is a question for the last term we want to describe so that everyone has the clarity for the movie and can understand the terms we use, is Akashic Records. And so that's also a way of retrieving experiences and possible life parallels, etc. So Eliana, can you please describe what the Akashic Records are and what an Akashic record reading is for our audience?
Sure, thank you, Marilee. So the Akashic Records is like it could be a record of anything living in creation, what has been created in this universe, other universes. It's all life experiences, life knowledge of planets, of living beings, animals. It's all held as a informational record somewhere, energetically held in an Akashic record. And an Akashic record could be a universal record of different universes or a specific universe, or it could be a planetary record of what a planet's history is and the living beings on that planet. Or it could be a personal record of your life experiences in your book of life, in your soul record. So there's different individual Akashic records. It's depending on what you're tapping into to find information on. And an Akashic Records reading session can depend on what you want to know. You can also connect in Akashic Records to the different beings from higher dimensions. The beings we connected to in this movie, we all connected to them through the Akashic Records. They were working in different groups, and we connected with these groups individually to find information about their true history, what they look like, and accuracy and authenticity. So an Akashic Records reading can look very different based on what you're asking as questions about what you would like to know about yourself or other beings. You can also communicate with other beings through the Akashic record energy, because you're literally the practitioner facilitating the records, opening the records through the beings, accessing the records on your behalf as well. They're providing an open door to see the information, to see the history, or you're accessing your own record through the practitioner to find out more about yourself, your galactic lineages, past lives, who you are. It could also be connected to your current lifetime if you have answers that you want information on, how you are as a living being, what's going on in your own life to get more information, and an opportunity to see what you can change in your life for a positive outcome. The records can show you that information. If you need help with anything in life, understanding yourself as a soul, as a human being, life, relationships, partnerships, work, you can ask that in the records to get more clarification on how the records can help you with that, to provide solutions, good, positive solutions and outcomes.
Very detailed. Thank you, Ileana. Jason, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, with my kind of technical brain, the way I look at it is it's kind of like a hard drive of everything that's ever happened in the entire multiverse. And, you can go to this file or that file and take a look and see and get information that way. And so there's no time in the Akashic records. It's all just there on the hard drive. You just have to go to the right place and find it. And that's kind of how I look at it. And just bring up to the screen, what you want to view.
That's a great way of explaining it as well. Thanks so much. So we've clarified the terms that will be used in the movie, and I hope you find that of assistance. So today you will be introduced to 4, as Ileana talked about, high dimensional creator protectors for Earth and humanity. And as Ileana mentioned, but she didn't mention the amount, you will also get to see, I believe, at least over 100 authentic renderings, authentic being the key word here, of real creators and never before revealed details about their lives. They tend to be somewhat private. The question arises then, how can you feel affinity with creators that you didn't realize exist or know anything about, right? So this movie was produced so you can relate to them and then perhaps recognize their energy and possibly start up connections yourself with them. So in this introduction to our movie, we felt it would be of interest and beneficial to share the multidimensional cooperative creative process that we went through that immediately attracted the attention of the higher ups. And we received a "we're on board" also response from humanity's top tier creators residing in the higher dimensional frequencies that Jason and Ileana explained. And what was important for all of us but to make this movie happen and to have the collaborations is we all have a pure motive intention to do this movie for the benefit of all humanity. I just wanted to briefly share with you how the idea came to me, which is working with many clients for 42 years. There was a topic that I felt needed to be addressed that kept reoccurring, and that is that 95% of all Earth's humanity has mother and father wounds. And when I see or work with others, I look at them as denied creator beings. After all, logically speaking, as Jason said, humans have the capacity to give birth, which is certainly a creator act. So I think it is fun to maintain an open mind and nurture big picture views. One night on the phone with Ileana, I was sharing this fact of humans having deep ancestral wounds and unhealed post-traumatic stress. And in order to heal ourselves and be able to ascend, we must heal our ancestral father and mother wounds, and not just from this direct earth parental ancestry. I felt it would greatly help to go all the way back to the beginning of creation of our earth and introduce humanity to their true off-world creator parents that they have forgot or may have never known. My reasoning is that if humanity and all of us can actually see and meet the highest dimensional creator founders, or parents, if you will, then they will finally know that they have always had protectors and have never been alone. This would greatly assist in lessening our loneliness and fears of ancestral rejection and abandonment. So for humans to know that you are invisibly cheered on and may choose to become more open and available to sense in your hearts these creators' subtle guidance as we all go through Earth life's challenges will make your life much more dynamic and awe-inspiring. So the vision I instantaneously saw was this should be an entertaining multimedia movie format for all to enjoyably learn. And Jason Cooper was the man to do it because of his well-known previous Meet the Irma Cosmic Space Cats movies that he produced. Ileana agreed. And evidently, as I was talking with Ileana on the phone, the creator beings heard this and thought this was a great idea. So things moved super fast from there. Ileana, I should say, has a long time history and highly accurate track record as a reader of Akashic records, which is why her explanation of it was so deep and beautifully said. And I had several readings with her to verify her accuracy. She is able to communicate psychically with any high vibrational entity and also self-taught herself to reproduce 100% authentic, high-quality renderings of different beings. So it was all perfect timing, what some may call divine synchronicity. So I told Ileana that I wanted to schedule in the next 4 to 5 months multiple private Akashic record sessions with her for each creator species that we want in the movie in order to ask my general questions, like she said, and take advantage of the Akashic records where you can learn everything about a species, about your lives, and especially the specific details. And I also commissioned with Ileana to do these 100 renderings that she had developed the ability to do with very shortly, which in itself is a miracle. So the creator beings that were chosen as the Akashic record representative of their species, as Ileana mentioned, happily showed up to provide the answers during the sessions and gave us great input. Being a direct person, I then commissioned Ileana for specific renderings of these creator species, starting from the originators, like the Batal that Jason mentioned, from the top down. I knew exactly what I wanted, accurate pictures of humanity's creator beings, their homes, their planets, their cultures, their philosophies, and other things that would interest all of us. I was very picky and precise about Ileana's work and knew that not only our reputation for accuracy had to be 100%, but the beings themselves requested 100% authenticity if they were going to present themselves publicly and share the details of their lives for the first time on Earth. I then match their answers with 100 renderings and pass the renderings and matching descriptions on to Jason, who, as an extraordinary movie producer and creator, could seamlessly weave the narrations and renderings into the full production of this movie that we are going to present to you today. So Ileana, let's start with you because I want to hear your version of the process. Any stories you'd like to share about creator visitations and conversations?
The blue azurites, or blue avians, as you can call them, it's interchangeable. They are of an avian species. Some of them can fly, and some of them don't have wings. And that's what came in as images of their consciousness through the Akashic records. I started connecting to their personal Akashic records and them connecting to me and talking to me telepathically and showing me what they look like, what planets they live on, providing names, providing density, culture, history, and that's what you'll see in the movie. These beautiful renderings show that exquisitely with also the written information about them. So we had a little bit of information, and you and I went deeper into the Akashic records to talk to them directly about this, and the green Chauksuri avians as well, where they live, planets, what they look like, feathers, no feathers, skin color, what they're all like as creators and their different unique individual aspects of what they do, what planets they interact with, what beings they themselves interact with. Also connecting with beautiful Irma to go back for a little information with the Irma, which you'll see later on. Beautiful experiences as well, seeing their vibrant ships, golden energy, them upgrading my ability to actually render accuracy of their light ships, because it's not just a physical ship, it's so much more than that, and it has different energies. So to see how that works, I had to see it to experience that energy myself, to be able to render that accurately. And also working with the Dakan reptilians to see what their ships look like, because it's also a special frequency. And you have to match the vibration of that frequency to understand how their ships work, how they look. And also the Patal, interacting with the Patal and the Azurites, they have high vibrational frequency. To understand their abilities, you need to witness how they do things. So I got to spend time with them and see what their abilities are like to live a day in the life, so to speak. Because every species is unique, individual, and different. So you have to experience all of them in their unique individuality to get the bigger picture of what they're like, to be able to render that in, to be able to render all of that into accurate images, then in the Akashic records get all the information to the accompanying images, because these are living conscious beings. Yes, they're images, but they're alive, and the images show their aliveness and their energy and frequency and who they are and what they do and how they live. They all live differently and very uniquely. So to get that uniqueness, Marilee and I worked thoroughly together, and working with Jason as a unit to put all of this together in a beautiful collated way that tells a magnificent story of these creator beings.
That is so great. And I have to say, you know this, I can't tell you how delighted I was every time I opened my computer and saw one of your absolutely gorgeous renditions. I would squeal with delight and run around, and and we always of course made sure, like you said, to have the full approval of the creator beings for each rendering, because a lot of tweaking was asked for. And I have to tell you that Ileana was an absolute saint. She had unending patience and indomitable perseverance, both with my perfectionist requests and their attention to every detail needing to be accurate. So thank you, Ileana. It's incredible. And then also Jason, as the third edition that we needed for this incredible collaboration, who works full-time like many and is doing this just as a gift from his heart. And we had a chance to get a strong sense of him as a highly ethical, pure vibration, very knowledgeable and understated co-creator. So Jason, you've been a gift.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So now, as if that wasn't enough, surprise of surprise was offered, which Ileana mentioned. And as a special extra gift for humanity, the Irma called Imra Battle Group Warrior Creator contacted Ileana and gave her intel to disclose on a battle that took place in 2011, which we were all alive then. That's not that long ago. And what the creators did, which will be shared at the end of the movie, determined the fate of Earth and its humans. I need to tell you that events like this are more frequent than people know because they remain hidden to the public. I felt so honored to receive this gift because any information that proves to humanity that the creators are watching and have our back, to the extent that free will and non-interference laws are allowed, will surely reduce our fears. And so we decided to end the movie with that actual uplifting story of mutual collaboration and the amazing teaser that Ileana shared about the Dakan, used to be Draco-reptilian species, and how they evolved themselves after that battle. So Ileana, anything you would like to share about the process and receiving that intel disclosure data?
I had to work closely with the Irma, Irma captains and the warriors, going and visiting physically their golden light ships and seeing the gold frequency to match it exactly, and then them upgrading the holographic technology we use to create these renderings to make them 100% accurate, and like you said, do many tweaks to get it right, and working with the Dakan warriors as well, going physically on their beautiful green ships, which have a specific green color that you'll see in the movie. It's lovely. And also getting the lay of the land and the frequency of their ships and what that was like. Because the battle itself, they're very neutral. None of them hold a grudge. They're all working together now after the battle. And I got to visit both groups to see their ships in order to render them correctly as they were in the battle and after the battle. It's just, they're all wonderful beings, high vibrational. And also there's another surprise, the Azurites at the end of the movie, you will see them rendered in Egypt, in Egyptian history, what they really look like in color of skin and body. So that's another special treat, because the Blue Azurites wanted that also to be disclosed.
And that was a recent discovery from the Metropolitan Museum, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
They simulated the colors of what the Azurites looked like, what the Egyptians looked like on the walls.
So, Jason, before we begin the movie, introducing the world to the Azurites, Blue Avians, Batal, and more creators, is there anything you would like to share about this process and your experience of the collaborative?
Sure. Yeah. So for me, it's just been a lot of fun because I mean, a lot of this stuff is new to me, and I'm just always looking to learn new stuff. And so for you guys to bring this kind of information to me to kind of put together and present has been a lot of fun because I'm learning a lot, throughout the process from you guys. And, you know, so that's, but basically what I do is I take all the information that you guys have kind of put together and organize it in a way that's going to be presentable through the format that I do my videos, and just kind of bring it all together to make it flow. So that's been kind of my part of the project. Yeah.
Oh, as if that's nothing. You should see how much material we gave him. It's about this thing.
It's a living library of these
Oh.
beings and who they are and what they do.
So, Ileana, is there any last thing you would like to share in your experience or collaboration work or anything?
I would like to say that I got to work with Jason closely to learn his process of how he renders, of the quality of workmanship that goes into his processes. So we spent several 4 to 5 hours working together to understand the holographic digital process of rendering different beings and how that process works in some of Jason's flow, how he does his work behind the scenes, so that I could understand what some of the requirements are for his work and what my work would need to be as a skill set to be in collaboration to work with Jason and Marilee on all of these projects. So it was a divine pleasure to get to know Jason, to see the workflow, to see how these things happen behind the scenes, because the work he does, he puts a tremendous amount of time and effort to make all of this come together, because we give him different pieces. We send him a lot of information and images. He got 100 and something images, and it takes a lot of time and organization for Marilee to script everything together, to put it together. Then Jason creates an overall script. There's edits, there's a whole finite process of how this comes together. And it's 3 people collaborating in unity and working together and understanding what we're all doing, contributing and bringing together to present this special event and beautiful 3 parts.
Thank you so much, Ileana. It's truly been a gift for me, as I said also. So I would just like to say to our audience that with this movie providing both knowledge and comfort, you are invited to choose if you want to let go of any victim mentality, stand up and forge ahead with newfound confidence, trust, and heart certainty that you are not abandoned or alone by your creator ancestry, but rather watched, protected, and subtly guided by the creators themselves. So go forth in your soul evolution, knowing that each and every one matters in creation, and you are creator beings with the ability to create a more evolved world. And hopefully by seeing these higher tier worlds, which you will see in the movie, you as creators yourself, with the gift of imagination, now have the real visuals and data to start creating and manifesting that on earth by inserting the intent into your holographic quantum field of life. So now it is time to grab your family and friends and preferably watch this on a big screen so you don't miss any detail. Enjoy this gift and the sacred knowledge of finally meeting the real top tier creator family. Blessings to you all.